I'm Anupama Chopra. My Twitter bio reads film critic, book author, editor of Film Companion. I'm a woman who wears many hats. I'm also director of the Mumbai Film Festival. That's all professionally. Personally, I'm wife, mother, owner of 6 dogs. But above all else, I'm a massive lover of the movies. I'm a huge, huge film fan. And not just any films, I'm a passionate lover of Hindi cinema. Basically, my whole life is about Bollywood. And I'm super excited to be here in the Twitter Blue Room for hashtag This Happened in 2017 in Entertainment. So I use Twitter a lot as a news feed. It feels like my custom-built news portal. And there were so many Twitter moments. I remember distinctly the whole Me Too campaign in October and how that played out across the world. But like I said, my life is all about the movies. And so the moment I remember distinctly is the moment when I was driving home from somewhere and I looked on my Twitter newsfeed and it said that the release of Padmavati had been postponed. And of course, there's been plenty of Hindi films that have run into trouble with the censors. There's been a lot of sort of noise around them, a lot of politics around them. But for me, it really felt like the world had shifted in some way. And I remember that moment very clearly thinking, okay, now the game has just irrevocably changed. And this is going to alter things for artists, especially artists in Hindi cinema, forever. On a more personal note, one of my happy Twitter memories in 2017 is around the Mumbai Film Festival, MAMI. It just sucks the life out of us to put this festival together. And we work so hard and I don't know, somewhere in the back of your head, you always wonder, like, doesn't matter, did we make any difference? And then you see all the conversation on Twitter, how people are sort of waking up at a certain time to book tickets, what a difference those movies made in their lives, and how it altered ways of seeing. And then you really sort of forget the pain and you really feel like, okay, we did good. It's been a really eventful year for Indian entertainment. There have been millions of conversations, from cinema in the South to Hindi cinema to Big Boss on television. Let's take a look at the top 10. So here's what I found really fascinating. Now, Twitter has always been sort of owned by Bollywood. You've got every major director, actor, writer, everyone's on Twitter, right? But this year, the conversation around films from the South actually matched or overtook the conversation around films from Bollywood. Marsal and Bahubali 2 topped the charts. Marsal had about 1 million tweets on one day. Just let that sink in. I did expect to see Padmavati on the list, and of course it's very much there with 1.8 million tweets. People for, against, expressing what they feel about a film which frankly very, very few people in this country have seen. So clearly this was a touch point. It has elicited very strong reactions, some of them more shrill than they needed to be, but it was out there. And at number 5, expectedly, is Anushka Sharma's wedding with Virat Kohli. What I really loved about this moment was that it was completely a secret, or, well, not completely, but most people didn't know. And then they officially announced it on Twitter with this lovely photograph. And there was just such a happiness and joy that tweet elicited, and people were retweeting it. And, of course, all of Bollywood was congratulating them. And first of all, props for completely owning the conversation and doing it in a super classy way. But also, I felt like it just made everyone happy to see these two gorgeous, madly talented people together. And for a brief moment in time, we were all a little less cynical. And at number 10 is the word that has haunted the Hindi film industry this year, of course, nepotism. This was a big one. And no matter where you stand on the nepotism debate, I was just personally happy to see this fact of nepotism in the Hindi film industry being discussed. Let's all just be aware of it and move on. And these are the most mentioned Hindi films in 2017 based on hashtag volume. So the number 1, 2, and 3 films are Rais, Tiger Zinda Hai and Tube Light. You know, Twitter's so much about personality, and I think the fact that Salman Khan and Shah Rukh Khan are such massive personalities. Of course, they're massive stars, but they're also very active on Twitter. Really helps to kind of feed into this. They've got armies of fan clubs, armies. And personally, I find Shah Rukh's Twitter handle one of the best coming out of the Hindi film industry. It's very personal, it's funny, he's very self-deprecating and not afraid to take pot shots at himself. So that's a lot of fun. What's also interesting is look at number 8. It's Golmaal Again. Golmaal Again is in fact the biggest Hindi film of the year in terms of box office. It is the first Hindi film comedy to break 200 crore. But on the Twitter chart, in terms of most mentioned, it's number 8. What does that say? Maybe that either there wasn't enough promotion done pre-release, or that Ajay Devgan doesn't have the same sort of clout and following on Twitter that Shah Rukh Khan and Salman Khan do. And I'm super excited now to bring in a guest to talk about the year in entertainment on Twitter. Armaan, welcome to the Twitter Blue Room. What's your Twitter bio?
My Twitter bio is onwards and upwards, no looking back. And there's a hashtag which I put on the bio called Making India Proud, with the flag of the Indian national flag. And I think a bio says a lot about a person. And I've always felt that, my motto has always been onwards and upwards, no looking back at whatever's happened and whatever's in the past, and always looking towards what's in the future. So yeah, that's my bio on Twitter.
So listen, I've been given this list and I have to say I was surprised, which is in no way uncomplimentary to you, but you are number 5 on this list of the most talked about male Bollywood celebrities, the most mentioned male Bollywood celebrities. Number 5 on that list, and number 2 on the most talked about next gen Bollywood celebrities. It's Varun Dhawan and then it's you. Wow. And on this one, awesome. My friend, you're higher than Mr. Bachchan, Hrithik Roshan, and A.R. Rahman. Okay, first of all, how does that feel? You're 22 years old.
Yeah, I'm 22. I'm speechless actually to know that I am number 5 on that list. I've always held Twitter to my heart. This is where my...
Is that one of your favorite social media platforms?
Yes, it definitely is. Because I started tweeting before I was on any other social media. And actually, my fan base started from here, the Armanians.
The Armanians. Okay, we need to talk about that.
So it all started from Twitter, and they came up with the name on Twitter, and I was continuously in touch with my fans on this platform, and it just felt like we were having a chat. You know, they were really close to me, and it's because of that there's been such a huge family of fans who are they feel that they're in close proximity.
No, but the way you also talk,
yes.
Armaan, I saw one tweet of yours that said butter snan.
Yeah.
What's that mean? What does that mean?
I just write random stuff on Twitter, and I don't know. It just kind of appeals to all of them. So I'm kind of goofy that way sometimes. I don't know why I wrote it, but I was just like, it's okay.
You were having a butter snan moment.
Yeah.
Tell me, what do you use Twitter for? Who do you follow?
So initially, it started out as more like an informative thing. Like I'm looking forward to Bachchan Saab's tweet, and seeing.
So more like news.
More like, yeah. I was thinking it's that first, but then I discovered it's so much more than that. I could reach out to my fans in different countries, and I was tweeting to them and talking to them, and sharing pictures and videos and moments. Like the videos became longer after a point on Twitter, and there was a live, the Periscope feature started coming on, and actually this year has been really, really special to me in many ways, because this is the first time I used the Periscope live session, and I did it for when I reached 400k followers on Twitter, and I just recently reached 500k, 500,000, so yes, I'm excited.
Tell me, Armaan, do you think the nature of fame is different for people like you than it was for an older generation?
I feel social media is a very important thing for all the celebrities out there and for all the public personalities. It's a huge part of who you are. You can actually tell a lot about a person when you see their tweets. You can form an image about that celebrity, and you can know how they are in real life. Unless they don't tweet much. That's the only difference. It's definitely a very important promotional tool also today, because you see how Varun uses the social media.
He's amazing.
And he keeps complimenting me. You're like me only. We keep posting stuff, keep putting out videos and pictures and stuff. And I think fans really love that interaction happening. Every minute or every 1 hour, 2 hours, we're just posting something or the other from our life, and they want that. And
every 1 or 2 hours?
Yeah, like I
Damn,
try
you're
to.
prolific.
Yeah. If I'm not, I give it to someone, at least mera kuch story le lo, just put out
Kuch
something.
to karo.
Kuch to karo. So it's become a part of my routine and my life and my day. And it's really brilliant that way.
But Armaan, where do you draw the lines? How do you decide that this is private and I'm not sharing it?
Definitely my personal life is something that I'd not like to share on any of the social medias, and I've always kept that to myself, because that's a part of my life I don't want to share with the public.
Do you talk about your creative process, about how you compose and how you write songs, all of that?
So my brother composes.
You don't compose at all?
No.
Okay. You're the singer and the lyric writer.
Yeah, I write songs. I actually write a lot of songs for myself, which I've not released till now. So it's more like non-film songs, and I've done albums and stuff like that, but not for films. So yeah, definitely there is a whole process of me, where I'm with my guitar and I'm probably playing a few chords, and some tune comes in my mind and stuff like that, and I keep sharing that stuff. I share in studio moments if I'm at the mic and I'm recording something, and I take a selfie and just post it on Twitter. It's amazing how the world now revolves around these things, and it's beautiful for me, because this platform has actually given me a lot, I feel. Twitter has been very instrumental in my growth as a person, as an artist. And if it wasn't for Twitter, it wouldn't be, Armanians wouldn't exist. I don't think so.
Last question, I wanted to talk about some of the most talked about female Bollywood celebrities.
Okay.
And these are, Deepika, Anushka, Priyanka, Alia, Shraddha, so many. Who do you follow? Who do you enjoy?
I follow Alia. Alia is actually from my school, so I'm really close to her, and I follow her. I follow Priyanka Chopra. I love her stuff, and the way her year was amazing actually this year. So I've followed that really closely, and of course my favorite, Deepika Padukone. I think she's topping the list here.
She is indeed topping the list.
Yes, amazing. I love her.
And we're going to wrap with what's Armaan Malik's golden rule for tweeting?
So what is my goal? My golden rule is actually seeing this whole past year and what is happening. I've made a golden rule for myself not to talk about religion and politics. Those are two things I should never talk about, because that always gets into some controversy or another. And just talk about music, post as many selfies as possible, and keep smiling in them. That's my golden rule.
So Armaan, what are you looking forward to in 2018?
So I've just reached 500k followers on Twitter, and my next goal is 1 million followers. I'm looking forward to 1 million followers.
He's put it out there,
2018.
folks. Make
For
it
all
happen.
the Armanians, you got to make this happen. You got to make this happen in 2018.
This is a straight call to action.
Okay, I want to ask you, what do you look forward to?
I always look forward to better films.
Okay, wow.
Always.
Always talking like her.
It's what I really want. This year was a really underwhelming one for Hindi cinema.
I felt so.
For South Indian cinema, I think it was a glorious year.
Definitely.
But I think for Hindi cinema, it wasn't so great. And I really hope that we empower
Films,
our
music,
writers.
everything. I think.
Everything,
Yes,
yeah. There was
overall.
nothing that really just kind of blew your mind.
Yeah.
And I am waiting to be blown away.
2018, you know what you have to do.
Better films.